What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here. Good morning to you all. Um, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's meet that 1,000 subscriber. Uh, let's meet that 1,000 subscriber mark. Now, for those of you who don't know, me and Wrestling for Fans, we did a review of the 2019 edition of the Royal Rumble. It was an excellent pay-per-view from top all the way down to the bottom. Then after that, we did a top 10 video, which I don't understand why Wrestling for Fans doesn't like lists. Maybe it's because whenever he goes grocery shopping, he has a list and he forgets about it. I don't know. But we both said things not inappropriate or anything. We both said things about the Royal Rumble that we just did not agree with. He didn't agree with me, and I didn't agree with him. Now, the Royal Rumble match itself, it was very, and I'm talking about both the men's and the women's. The women's match was great. The men's match was great. The only thing I do have to, and this is just nitpicky by me, the only thing I do have to say about the women's rumble that I didn't like was Mickie James botched and Lacey Evans botched. Lacey Evans, I'll give a pass to her because it is her first match in the WWE. She started at number 1, and Natalya entered at number 2. Now, one thing that Wrestling for Fans said is that he didn't like the Royal Rumble. He didn't like the matches he didn't like the women's and the men's because there weren't any legends. I have to correct him, like I always do. That's right, I'm giving you a hard time. We did have one Hall of Famer. Elias came in at number 1. Jarrett came in at number 2. And Jeff Jarrett was sporting his 1995 attire. So, but I'm perfectly okay with not seeing legends and not seeing Hall of Famers. I'm perfectly fine with it. Because I'm glad that we saw people like Johnny Gargano and Pete Dunne. I'm glad that we saw people from NXT and NXT UK, both, like for the women's. We saw Kylie Zane, Casey Casey LaRusso or something like that. She was incredible. She she's like 5 foot, maybe 5'4", 5'5", and she saved herself with some incredible spots. She was on American Ninja Warrior before she was signed to WWE, so she's really, really nimble. We saw, like I said before, we saw Lacey Evans from NXT. Well, she's not in NXT anymore. She's on the main roster. We just saw so much NXT talent come up. The guys had Aleister Black, which he was cool to see. We saw Nikki Cross, who was cool to see. You know, I'm perfectly fine with not seeing legends and not seeing Hall of Famers because we get spoiled. If you think about it, we get spoiled with the legend and Hall of Famer treatment in the Royal Rumble almost every single year. Now, I have to move on to the second topic in this video. Finn Balor versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar. He's Wrestling for Fans says that Finn got buried. Not true. Finn did not get buried. He lost. But a burial and a loss are completely two different things. I mean, I would have went with Finn getting buried. I would have went with that sentiment. However, I would have went with it if Finn did not get any offense in, or if it was just a 90-second squash where Brock just F5s Finn and wins that way. But Finn, it was a great match between Finn and Brock. It was. The thing that I have to say is I think Wrestling for Fans is 100% wrong. Finn Balor, he says that Finn got buried. That's not the case, brother. That's not the case. You see, Finn was smart. There was a spot in the match where Brock had Finn on his shoulders. And he was about to, I guess, do something that involved the announce table. And I guess put Finn through it. But that's not what happened. Instead, Finn got off. Finn got off. Finn was able to get off of Brock's shoulders onto his back, shove Brock into the corner of the announce table, and from then on out, and And from there on, it was a fair fight. It was a fair match. It was fair competition. Finn did hit a lot of, he focused on Brock's core, which was smart, because you take out the core, you take out the F5. You know, and Finn is a bumping machine. Finn was bumping Brock. Finn was giving Brock everything he had. Furthermore, I didn't expect Finn to win. I wanted it to, so we could have a Universal Champion that actually showed up on TV. That would, if anything, the belt is buried. Finn's not buried. In fact, Brock, Brock did not win by F5 and pin. Brock won with Kimura lock. Making Finn tap out. Then afterwards, German F5. So Finn did not get buried. Finn lost, but he did not get buried. Buried and lost are the... Okay, classic example. The Nexus got buried by Jaina. So, wrestling for fans. I would like your reply. You can either call me or you can make a video, either one. But I would definitely like your reply to me. So, I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.